Hi friends, I wonder if I'm the only one who feels like the world's gone completely mad. In a bizarre turn of events, in 1998, American thief Terrence Dixon broke into a wealthy suburban home while the owners were on vacation. The house full of valuable items seemed like the perfect target. But when Dixon attempted to escape through the garage, he found the door stuck, broken and unrepaired. In a panic, he rushed back into the house, only to have the door slam shut behind him, trapping him inside. He remained imprisoned in the garage, surviving on dog food until the homeowners returned. What happens next shocked everyone. Instead of facing consequences, Dixon sued the homeowners. He claimed that he had suffered from claustrophobia since childhood, and the failure to maintain the garage door had inflicted severe psychological trauma. In an unexpected ruling, the court sided with Dixon, awarding him $500,000 in compensation. The case had since become infamous as a striking example of the legal system's occasional quirks. Of course, I would like very much to ask a few questions to the judge who made this decision. Was the Dixon forced into the house with a broken garage door? Or did he enter on his own, of his own free will, breaking the law? Perhaps the compensation should have been increased. After all, the homeowners didn't provide proper hot meals 3 times a day for anyone who might illegally enter his home during homeowner's absence. How could a judge with such a level of reasoning and logic even graduate from university and be elected to serve as a judge? On February 27, 1992, Stella Liebeck ordered a cup of coffee for 49 cents from the drive-through windows of a McDonald's in Albuquerque on Southeast Gibson Boulevard 5001. Liebeck was sitting in the passenger seat of a 1989 Ford Probe, which didn't have cup holders. Her grandson parked the car so Liebeck could add cream and sugar to her coffee. She placed the coffee cup between her knees and tried to pull the far edge of the lid towards herself to remove it. As a result, she spilled the entire cup of coffee onto her lap. Liebeck was wearing cotton sweatpants, which quickly absorbed the hot liquid and contributed to burns on her thighs, buttocks, and groin. Normal individuals with developed cause and effect reasoning would of course have blamed themselves, their hands, which grew in the wrong place. But it's much more convenient to blame someone else. And Mrs. Liebeck sued McDonald's. The jury decided that McDonald's was 80% responsible for the incident. And I wonder, why not 90 or 70%? Somehow the jurors figured out the percentage and awarded Liebeck $200,000 for damages and medical expenses, plus $2,700,000 as a punitive fine. I would of course have also advised Mrs. Liebeck to sue Ford Company, since the car wasn't equipped with a cup holder, which directly caused the coffee to spill onto her groin. One could also have filed a lawsuit against Mrs. Liebeck's teachers, who never explained to her the link between hot beverages and the risk of burns. Or am I missing something? A 19-year-old resident of Magnitogorsk, Dinara Iskulova, together with her boyfriend, decided to punish the cat by locking it in a running washing machine while filming a video. presumably to teach a lesson to other naughty cats who might watch this video on social media, although more likely to demonstrate their level of empathy and pedagogical innovation to society. Unexpectedly for Dinara, this pedagogical method didn't gain support from social media users. After public outcry, law enforcement conducted an investigation to attempt press criminal charges under the article of animal cruelty. The suspect and her partner faced a possible fine of up to 300,000 rubles, which is roughly 3,000 US dollars, or imprisonment for up to 2 years. However, the prosecutor office of Leninsky district of Magnitogorsk city refused to initiate criminal proceedings. As explained by the senior assistant to the prosecutors of the Leninsky district of Magnitogorsk city, Lyudmila Konkova, according to Russian criminal law, acts of cruelty to animals are understood as actions by a person that result in the death or injury of an animal, if committed out of hooligan or selfish motives, with the use of sadistic methods, or in the presence of minors. The cat didn't suffer any injuries, so the decision was made not to initiate criminal proceedings. The young people themselves also didn't see any wrongdoing in what they did. Not dear Dinara Iskulova, her partner, and the entire prosecutor's office of the Leninsky district of Magnitogorsk city. Please accept my sincere condolences for your complete lack of basic human decency. In 1993, St. Petersburg policeman Andrei Pugin got a simple task: set up an ambush in an apartment where the owner had been found dead and wait for the killer to arrest. Sounds like one-night job, right? But the order to end the operation either got lost in the labyrinth of bureaucracy or was quietly forgotten, and Pugin took it as his life's calling. At first, he dutifully waited for the criminal for a few weeks. Then, for a few months, the killer never showed up. But meanwhile, his common-law wife moved to this flat. Then his son was born there. Then a full-scale renovation with Euro-style wallpaper and plastic window happened. In the end, the apartment transformed from a stakeout site into a cozy family nest. Bills were paid, trash is taken out. Frankly, they behave really like responsible owners. 17 years later, our hero strategist decided that since the criminal clearly wasn't coming, he might as well officially claim the apartment. But then the Leningrad District Court of St. Petersburg stepped in with solemn gravity. "Oh no, sir, your possession doesn't count as opened. You didn't inform the housing authority, and paying property tax on behalf of the deceased looks suspicious, like you were hiding his death." So the killer wasn't caught, the apartment wasn't granted, but Pugin did set a record for the world's longest stakeout. Someone called Guinness, the most pointless yet most loyal service to the motherland. I have few questions to this police officer, Mr. Pugin. Did he ask his superiors for additional payment for overtime work at night, on weekends and during holidays, since the ambush apparently was conducted around the clock? Did he request compensation from the court, reimbursement for the renovations and property tax payments, now that the court refused his claim to the apartment? Did he appeal to the local guardianship authorities to protect the rights of his minor son, who had lived his entire life in this apartment and now, without the guardianship authorities' permission, must leave the apartment? These questions are, of course, completely absurd, but they perfectly fit the logic of the absurdity of this situation. What do you think about it? I'm really curious to hear your thoughts, my friends. Share them down in the comments. I'll be reading them all.